By the end of this video, we will have finally liquid cooled the 9900K and the RTX 2080 Ti in the Ghost S1. This build has been a long time coming, and this project is exciting for me personally because not only is this my system for everyday use, but it's my first time building a complete custom loop in a case this small. So today we're going to go over all of the parts and finally get this done. So for this build, I reached out to AlphaCool for some help with the parts. They really do make some unique fittings and hardware which fits this build perfectly, as you will see. First up, the CPU block, the Ice Bear LT Solo, which also contains the pump which will run the entire loop. For such a tiny case like the Ghost S1, there really is not a lot of additional space for a discrete DDC or D5 pump mounted elsewhere, so to have the pump contained within the CPU block helps us out a lot. The pump is designed for just a single radiator to be connected to it, but I'm hoping an additional GPU block won't hurt the flow rate too much. We've previously taken a look at the Apogee Drive 2 from SwiftTech, which is a very similar product, but the pump there is a high performance DDC pump. If you remember the testing from that video, I concluded that this thing was absolutely going to be overkill for small custom loops and would only really recommend it if you are using 2 or more radiators in your build. The Ice Bear LT Solo uses AlphaCool's DC LT 2600 pump. It's unfortunately not PWM, but you can regulate the RPM with the included low noise adapter, which drops the voltage from 12 volts down to 7 volts. So we are just using a single radiator here, but this is one that I'm really confident in when it comes to cooling performance. This is AlphaCool's Nexus ST30 Full Copper 240 V2. So just as the name suggests, it's a 240mm full copper radiator that's 30mm thick. I really love the flexibility here when it comes to custom loops as well. You can even fill and drain the port from the radiator thanks to these extra ports. The GPU block that we're using here is the RTX Vector block from EK, and I've kept that mounted to the 2080 Ti from my previous build. So really solid block here from what I've seen so far, really looking forward to using it in my own system. And to make filling the loop easier, since there isn't any room for a reservoir in this case, we are going to temporarily connect the loop to a reservoir with quick disconnect fittings and then disconnect it once it's completely full. This was one of the reasons this build was delayed. I was really stubborn on using these particular fittings from AlphaCool. As far as I've looked, they are the most premium quick disconnect fittings available. The rest of the fittings that we'll be using are compression fittings, as this build will be entirely soft tubing. I'm going for a more practical and high performance look for this build. Hard tubing would just be way too difficult and unnecessary. For those unfamiliar with the rest of the existing build, here are the specs really quickly. This is the system that I use day in, day out for gaming, video editing, and a bit of streaming when I get the chance. So let's get started. And the finished build is a lot better than I thought I could achieve in such a tiny space like this, but there were a few problems that we'll get into in just a moment. First, let's talk about how the build went. So routing the tubes was actually pretty straightforward. I'm actually really happy with how the GPU compartment looks, just a real clean and tidy look that I planned from the beginning. Matte black soft tubing is seriously underrated in my opinion. I'll definitely be using it in the future for high-end builds, especially in small form factor ones like this. So here's a quick run of the loop starting from the CPU block. The tubing routes underneath the power supply, connects to the quick disconnect leads at a right angle, goes up to the GPU, down and then up to the radiator, and my favorite part, down and then in front of the power supply so that you can barely see it, and then finally back to the CPU. Now, some of you may have noticed that when we started the build, we had this motherboard, the ASRock Z390i Phantom Gaming. That's the board I've been using in the Ghost for a while now, and I use it for a lot of my CPU testing for ITX builds. And when we finish the build, we have this, the Z390i Strix. So some of you might be wondering, did I really go through all of that trouble and then swap out the board? Yeah, unfortunately, that's what happened. So to sum things up, this board has gone through an absolute beating. This one here, the Phantom Gaming ITX from ASRock. So we're talking almost 100 CPU swaps. It would have to be in the ballpark of that number at least, because I swapped between the i5-8400, the i7-8700K, and then the i9-9900K, which is in this. So swapping back and forth, I managed to actually bend a couple of the pins in the CPU socket, which is not ideal. But basically what that means is that this board doesn't really boot reliably anymore. Actually getting it to post is more of just crossing your fingers, and it's kind of like a lottery at this point. So I had the Z390i Strix on backup because I knew that this would kind of kick the bucket one day, and lucky that was the case, because otherwise we wouldn't have a build put together. And I'm really lucky that this is just a soft tubed build, because if this was a hardline tubed build, swapping the motherboard would have been much harder. Luckily it only took me 10 minutes, so that was great. I want to talk briefly about how I actually filled the loop up, because it's not as intuitive as you think. And I actually didn't use the quick disconnect leads at the bottom like I had planned to, and I've been talking about quite a lot. So instead what I did was I just opened up the left radiator port, filled that up, opened up the right one, filled that one up too, and then I also opened up the fill port on the CPU pump block and carefully filled that up as well. After that, I kept cycling the system on and off and rotating the system around to try and get all of the air bubbles out. So just your usual initial loop prep. Now I will mention the biggest problem of this build currently, which is that the right angle fittings for the GPU are a couple millimeters too tall. Unfortunately, this means that the side panel does not close on that side, at least for now. I am in the process though of hunting down some low profile right angle fittings, so if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to drop those down below. Probably to your surprise though, the motherboard side panel does actually close though. The tubing just needs to be pushed in a little. Once I get those low profile fittings sorted for the GPU, I'm going to do a full video looking at thermals and noise levels versus how I had the build set up previously, just with an AIO and stock cooling for the GPU. I also want to test some overclocking, see if I can get the 9900K stable at 5 GHz for example, and if I can squeeze a bit more power out of the 2080 Ti as well. For now, I will just say that this build is definitely a keeper, and I don't plan on pulling it apart anytime soon. After playing a few games on it last night, the entire system was freakishly quiet, where usually, even with an undervolt on the GPU, it would at least get to an audible level. So that's it for now. If you guys have any questions at all on this build, feel free to drop those down below in the comment section. I will also have all of the parts here linked down below in the description if any of you are interested. As always guys, a huge thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.